Okay, let's talk about something we've all felt at some point. That sudden wave of anxiety, right? Your heart starts racing, your mind is spinning, and what's the one piece of advice everyone gives you? Just take a deep breath. It's like the go-to solution for everything. But what if there's a little more to it than that? What if that's not the whole story? And this quote, this really gets to the heart of it. Anxiety isn't just something that happens in your head. It's physical. It's in your body. And you know what? The science is totally clear on this. The way you breathe, your actual physical breathing, has a direct and super powerful impact on how you feel mentally. It's this incredible two-way street between your mind and your body. Okay, so this is where things get really, really interesting. What if that classic advice, take a deep breath, is sometimes, well, the wrong advice? I know, it sounds crazy, right? But what if the very thing we do to try and calm ourselves down could actually be making things worse? It's a total paradox, and it kind of flips everything we thought we knew on its head. So here's our game plan. We're going to start with that deep breath paradox. Then we'll get into something called the CO2 connection. It's super important. After that, we'll look at your body's own control panel, learn 2 science-backed breaths that really work, and finally, put it all together in a calming toolkit you can use anytime. All right, first up, the deep breath paradox. So let's get right into it. Why is it that taking those huge, gulping breaths can sometimes make us feel even more panicked? It seems so counterintuitive, but the answer? It's all in the mechanics of how we're breathing, or really, over-breathing. So think about it. When you're feeling anxious, the instinct is to take these huge, deep breaths, right? But what's really happening is that you start to hyperventilate. You're breathing too fast, too deeply. And this actually blows off way too much carbon dioxide from your body. The crazy part is, that's what causes those physical symptoms we associate with panic. The dizziness, that lightheaded feeling, even tingling. So you're accidentally making the panic worse. And that brings us to the real science behind all this. And honestly, the unsung hero of this whole story is carbon dioxide. Yeah, CO2. We're all taught to think of it as just a waste product, something we just need to get rid of. But it turns out it's absolutely crucial for keeping our entire nervous system calm and balanced. So check this out. When your CO2 levels get too low because you're overbreathing, a few things happen. First, it basically sends a red alert to your body, kicking you into fight or flight mode. It also makes the fear center in your brain more sensitive, so you feel more anxious. And, this is the big one, it completely messes up how your body delivers oxygen to your cells. It's a total chain reaction. This whole process has a name. It's called the Bohr effect. And here's the best way to think about it. Imagine your red blood cells are carrying around a bunch of oxygen. Well, CO2 is like the key that unlocks that oxygen and lets it get into your brain, your muscles, and all your tissues. So if you don't have enough of that CO2 key, all that oxygen just stays locked up, trapped in your blood. And this is a perfect picture of what's happening. On one side, you've got overbreathing. You're pulling in tons of oxygen, but you're blowing out too much CO2. The result? That oxygen gets trapped. It can't get to where it needs to go. But on the other side, with balanced breathing, everything works smoothly. Oxygen gets delivered efficiently. So the goal isn't just to get more air, it's to get the right balance of air. So the big question is, how do we actually fix this? How can we take back control? Well, it all comes down to understanding your body's own internal control panel. We're talking about the autonomic nervous system. And the coolest part is, we can learn how to hack it. Basically, your nervous system has 2 main modes, like gears in a car. You've got the sympathetic state. That's your gas pedal. It's the fight or flight response that revs you up to deal with stress. And then you have the parasympathetic state. That's your brake pedal. This is the rest and digest system that slows everything down and helps you feel calm. And the main way to hit that brake pedal? It's through something called the vagus nerve. This thing is like a superhighway connecting your brain to your heart, your lungs, your gut. It's a huge deal. And here's the best part. You can consciously activate it with your breath. You can literally use your breathing to tell your body, hey, it's okay, you can calm down now. Okay, enough theory. Let's get super practical. It's time to forget that vague advice to just take a deep breath. Instead, I'm going to show you 2 specific science-backed breathing techniques that work with your body's biology, not against it. All right, here are our 2 main tools. First, we've got BoxBreathing. This one is all about rhythm and structure. It's fantastic for when you're feeling scattered and just need to find your focus. Then we have the Physiological Sigh. This is your emergency button. It's a natural reflex that's designed for rapid, almost instant relief when you're feeling really overwhelmed. So how do you do box breathing? It's beautifully simple. You just breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, then you hold your breath for 4, you exhale slowly for 4, and then you hold at the bottom for 4. It's that simple rhythm, that symmetry, that's so incredibly grounding. It just sends this powerful all-clear signal to your nervous system. Now for the physiological sigh. And what's cool is your body actually does this on its own, especially when you're sleeping. Here's how it works. You take a deep breath in through your nose, and then, right when you think you're full, you sneak in a second little inhale on top. Then you let it all go with a long, slow exhale through your mouth. That little double inhale is the magic trick. It reinflates tiny air sacs in your lungs, so you can get rid of CO2 more effectively. And get this, the science is really clear on this one. Research from some top labs has shown that doing just 1 to 3 of these physiological sighs is literally the fastest known way to deliberately calm yourself down. I mean, in real time, right when you need it. It's incredible. Okay, so we have the tools. Now, how do we actually use them in real life? Let's put it all together into a super simple, actionable toolkit so you know exactly which breath to reach for and when. Think of this as your cheat sheet. If you're feeling really jumpy, wired, that high alert feeling, go for 1 to 3 physiological sighs. Instant relief. If you're more scattered or just can't focus, that's when you want to use box breathing for a few minutes to get grounded. And if you're feeling totally emotionally flooded, do a sigh first to bring the intensity down a notch, and then settle into that steady box breathing rhythm. And if you want to make this a habit, here's a really simple, no-pressure way to start. Just try this for a week. For the first couple of days, just do a physiological sigh in the morning and at night. Then, add in 2 minutes of box breathing. The whole point isn't to be perfect, it's just to start noticing what feels good and what works for you. I love this quote because it just sums everything up perfectly. It's not about needing more air. It's about learning how to use the air you have better. The real key here is balance. It's all about working with your body's incredible design, not fighting against it. So I'll just leave you with this one thought to chew on. Now that you know the science and you have these tools in your back pocket, what could you change? What becomes possible when you realize that a sense of calm isn't some far-off thing you have to find, but something you can literally create for yourself anytime you want with just a single breath?